Welcome to Northeast Missouri Angler. Today it's raining again and blowing. You can probably hear it on the shop roof. Hopefully it ain't too loud where you can't hear me. Since it's raining and I can't go fishing, which has been the story when I haven't been working the last 2 weeks. It seems like when I'm working it's beautiful, but when I'm off and have a chance to go fishing, either it's gale force winds or it's raining. So since it's raining, I'm inside and I'm just making up some jugs and some catfish bobbers. And I use pool noodles. I do a little different than what everybody else does. Yeah, let's explain to you what I do. So I buy the pool noodles at like Dollar General. Usually get them for a couple bucks a piece, and I cut them into 3 pieces. Okay, and that gives me 3 jugs. So in Missouri, the limit, you can have 33 hooks. So if you buy 11 of them, you're gonna have, there's your 33 jugs right there. You got about 25-30 bucks wrapped up in it all. Next thing I use is some 1-inch PVC pipe. It can be anywhere from 8 inches to 10 inches long is all you need. And then some PVC glue. And depending on how you rig them, you need 1 end cap and some eyelets. Or you can just drill a hole in the end of it. What I do is I take that piece of pool noodle, and a few of them I'll take and I'll cut a little bit off because they'll be that long basically, which is plenty long enough for a jug. But I like to use them make catfish bobbers out of them too. And so I cut about 5 inches off of it. And then what I'll do is take this piece, your piece of PVC, 1-inch PVC, and the hole that goes down through them is about the same size as a 3/4 inch. But I like to use a 1-inch so really it's tight. There's no play at all. And then I'll take a little PVC solvent, and I'll just show you on this. And I'll take and I'll waller, put the PVC like you're gonna glue 2 pieces like an end cap on. And I'll take a PVC pipe, I'll push it in there. But I'll only push it in about half the distance. I'll leave, as you can see on this one, this is about a 1-foot-long piece, and it's only in about that far, but it's glued in. You see where the PVC glued, and it won't come out. And what that does is, it makes it, when the fish hits it, it stands it up easier, and it'll stay stood up. If you've ever used the ones that run the pipe all the way through and put a cap on both ends, you can have about 10 bucks made up in just one of these. This way, about an 8-foot piece of 1-inch PVC pipe is like 3 bucks, 4 bucks tops. And then a pool noodle, and at 1 8-foot piece of PVC pipe, you'll have 20 bucks. You'll have all the pipe you'll need to make them this way. And you got all the pool noodle you'll need. So you'll have maybe 45-50 bucks in everything. Hooks, line, everything. Depending on the hooks you get. If you use high quality hooks, they can be $1, $1.50 a piece. What I use on my jugs is just, you can buy them in bulk. Eagle Claw makes them, Mustad makes them. They're just a 9/0, just a stainless steel hook, so you don't have to worry about them rusting. And then I use a swivel. About a foot down off my jug, I use a swivel. And where I'm at, usually the water where I like to jug is like 7 to 10 foot of water. So I put about a 5-foot line on it. And then the weight, I just use a bank sinker, and I'll take and drill the hole out a little bigger with a drill, just to make it easier to get the line through. And I'll go up on the line, just make a loop, stick through there, and then just run it back through the loop, pull it tight, and then there's your weight. You tie a couple overhand knots in your line. With jug line, it's different than a rod and reel. A knot in this heavy jug cord, heavy braided line, more than likely isn't going to break on a big fish. So you can tie a couple knots in there, that way if your weight does slide down, it doesn't get in the way of your hook. And then when you're done fishing, you pull them out the end of the day, and whatever you're done, you can take all the weights off, and then you don't have the weight flying around. And when you're done, you just take it back through, your weight back through. You pull your weight off, put that in the box, whatever. And then when you're done, you come up, wrap your line, and then use your hook to go right back through. And then, but with that not going all the way through, and I tie my lines on, I just take that same drill bit, drill a hole down through the pipe, and then run your line through and just tie it in a knot to where it hangs out through the center. And then when the fish gets on there, even, you know, 1 or 2 pounder, it'll stay standing up. It won't be laid down unless he goes over to the bank or something and he's laying on the bottom and then it's there. Everybody that's used jugs has had that one that's over on the bank, and you go up to it and you think, oh, there ain't nothing on there, and you reach down to grab it, or I use a pole with a hook on to grab mine. Just hook the line, lift them up in the boat, and all of a sudden there's a fish on there and it runs off with the jug. But if they're not in the water, if they're not laying on the bottom, it'll stand straight up easily. And a jug this size, I've caught 40-pound fish on there. You know, 25, 30 pounder, he'll pull it under, but he ain't gonna hold it very long. And you get a bigger one, 40, 50 pound, they're gonna hold it under a while, but they're not gonna keep it under forever. And then anything, I'd say 15 pounds or under, they'll bob it, but they're not gonna hold it under. And then you can get them. One thing I do, I fish a lot at night with jugs. I like floating with them around. And I'll get the bracelets or the necklaces at Walmart. I also do this for the catfish bobber. The catfish bobbers, I do a little different. On the catfish bobbers, you take this piece you cut off. Okay. And you can do it 2 ways. You can put a cap on the end and drill a hole in it, and put the eyelet in there, and then tie directly to the eyelet. That to me is the best way for the bobber to do it. But the other way you can do it is just take your piece of line, your line you would use for a jug or a trout line, and you can go ahead and just run it down through here and tie it in a loop. And then when you glue it in, leave the line and then tie it off, and then you can just hook onto the line if you want. What I prefer to do on mine is take your cap, glue that on. Take your drill your hole in your cap, and get you an eyelet, and then thread that eyelet in. And take it all the way, just put it all the way down in there. Grab a pair of pliers. Once it's started, it'll go in on its own. And then run it all the way down. There you go, like that. You don't have to cap the top. I'll tell you why in a second. Now you take your PVC glue. And this is exactly how I put this pipe in this jug too. The only difference is I'm going to push this all the way down until it meets my cap. I'm going to put that glue on the inside of my pool noodle. All the way down, as far as you can reach on both sides. And don't be scared to use too much. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to push this all the way down through there. Of course it'll come out, so be careful, be aware of that. Get you a towel, shop towels, whatever you got. Do it over a trash can, whatever you want to do. And then just wipe off the excess. Now that's glued in there. It won't even turn. So I can take the cap off, so I didn't glue the cap on. And there, that's how you do that. Now, I glue my cap on. Take your cap, glue it on. Go. I'll grab a towel here, I'm making a mess. Wipe up your excess. Now you got this end sticking out. You just cut that off. Use the saws off. cut it off. There you go. That's how I make my catfish bobbers. They work great because that cap is enough weight where when you cast it out, it'll always stand up. A 1 or 2 pounder, you know, even a small 1 or 2 pound cat, fish will pull that, pretty much pull that under when he hits. Now what you can do at night, let me turn the light off here and I'll show you. It's not pitch black in there, but you can see that this glows. What I do on my catfish bobbers at night is I get these necklaces at Walmart. You get them in packs of 100 or whatnot for like 10 bucks. I'll take and I just stick them in my pool noodle. Stick it down through your pool noodle. Stick them as far as you want. I usually do it till they come out the bottom and then pull them back a little bit. Now you have that floating around at night. You can see where they're at all the time. And of course, if it goes under, you'll notice it ain't out there no more. But what's nice is you don't have to use a different color pool noodle at night anyway to be able to tell which one, because there are multiple colors in them packs of this. And you can do the same thing with your jugs. You can stick them in the end of it if you're fishing at night, and then go over to the bank and you can still see them out there. Stick them in the end like that, and then when you get a fish on there, instead of being down against the water, they'll stand up and you can see that bright as can be out there at night when it's pitch black out. But yeah, but that's how I do my jugs. That's how I make my catfish bobbers. But both of them combined, you only got, you know, you figure the hooks. Like I make my own, I make sinkers, so there's very little cost there in sinker for me for lead. And then the hooks are relatively cheap. Both these combined, I have about $6 in it. You know, and that's counting $1 for that end cap. So, but yeah, that's how I do mine. Hope that helps you. And that's going to be it for now. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 70 degrees and sunny. With all this rain, we're definitely going to move in water. We went out yesterday and caught a few. I ran off and left the GoPros at home, so I didn't get any footage of that. But I'm sure I'll remember them tomorrow after forgetting them. And so I'll probably post a video again, probably midweek. But that's it for now. Remember, if you like what you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out. It don't cost you anything to do. And if you want to get notified whenever I do post a new video, hit the little bell down at the bottom, and then it'll notify you when I do post new content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.